The truth. Asking about Clayton Smith. I was almost certain that Clayton Smith would break out under this staff. Hardly hear anything about him. You guys know anything about his development?
Yeah, I think he's made a big. I think he's made a big turn here in the fall. Has really had a very good fall camp from everything that I've heard. I think he's a guy that will be in the rotation. Certainly, he's. I don't think he'll be a starter, but he'll get some time. He'll get some much more meaningful snaps this year. Maybe a very similar situation to what we had talked about before with R. Mason Thomas. Maybe in more predictable third and long. Um, situations where he has one job and just to go get the quarterback. So, yeah, I think it was a little bit surprising that he didn't make a move at some point last year. And then the spring was sort of similar, but I think he's absolutely loves the staff. I think there's been some thought process that if he's not getting on the field here, that he was maybe looking at transferring. But no, the kid loves Oklahoma before, and I think he even loves it more so with the new staff, and so I think he'll get some time this year without a doubt.
I know when we hit some of these recruiting questions and topics in particular, it's difficult to, there's a lot of speculation regarding what's going through a young man's mind. But we've got Malachi Coleman, and we also have an Oklahoma-Nebraska game being played in September. So, do you have any thoughts about maybe him waiting on his decision or that game factoring in at all, or the performance of the two teams this year?
Yeah, it's interesting, Mark. There's a lot of different factors here with this Malachi Coleman recruitment. Obviously, Oklahoma has to overcome a lot with him being in Nebraska's backyard, his parents being a big Nebraska supporter, and so. But I think the key to this, Mark, will be: does Oklahoma still get him on campus? I think if they get him on campus, they have a real opportunity to land him. And yeah, I think there's probably some portion of it that comes down to how both of these teams play during the year. If Nebraska struggles early on, that's nothing but a benefit to Oklahoma. If Oklahoma plays well, I think it's plays well and wins at a high level up until that, at least up until his announcement. I think that's good. I don't at this point, Mark. I don't necessarily, because October 15th I think is his commitment date. I don't necessarily have any lean one way or the other whether if he keeps that date, it's good or bad for Oklahoma. I think if he does move it, it's nothing but good for Oklahoma, but I still think as long as they get him on campus, and I think they have a real good opportunity. And I think to your point, Mark, I think maybe even more so Oklahoma than Nebraska. I mean, I think both of them obviously have a little bit of a different style that they're coming into this year with. I mean, with Mark Whipple at Nebraska, probably throw the ball a little bit more than they've done in the past, and I think with Oklahoma with Levy's offense. You probably maybe run the ball a little bit more than they have in the past, but that they still throw the ball around quite a bit. So we'll see. We'll see how that continues to go. I don't really, like I said. I mean, I think I think Oklahoma's on the outside looking in right now, but if he gets on campus, I think Oklahoma has a really good chance.
And I've got to think that if there's going to be a coaching change at Nebraska, that if he waits Malachi Coleman all the way to National Signing Day, which is roughly December 15th, whatever that middle Wednesday is of that week, then that coaching change would have already taken place. So let's say Nebraska has whatever year that they have, that if I'm Malachi Coleman, I'm judging Nebraska more on its season than I am Oklahoma,
Yeah.
because Oklahoma's program has been rock solid, stable. I know that there's a new coaching staff, but rock solid, stable as an elite program year after year after year after year, forever, 20 years. And even if Brent Venables, sure, if Brent Venables has a bad season at 7-5, let's say, there would be some doubt there to say, okay, well, this is his first year. It wouldn't be like Dabo Sweeney having a bad year where, okay, he's got 10 years of credibility there that can back up a down 10-3 season last year. As opposed to Nebraska, Scott Frost has done nothing there but lose. And if he just tacks on another, let's say, marginal season and they keep him, I would have little hope or little faith that I'm going to a program that's going to win. If Scott Frost goes 6-6 this year and they keep him, then I don't know what that's really telling recruits, except this guy's been here for 5 years and he's taken over a program that's been winning 9 games for the last 20 years. And now they're winning 4-6 games every year.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right, Mark. And I think, maybe he holds out early on here, and that's maybe why he hasn't made a commitment, to your point, just to see what this first half of this year looks like for Nebraska. If he feels like they're, ready to make that move to be more of a consistent winner, to your point. But yeah, I mean, if part of that's really, if a lot of his decision is going off of how productive the team is, I think Oklahoma obviously has an advantage there.